Going live now, Max.
Okay.
Well, Saturday morning runnings. That's what I say. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Saturday morning runnings. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, the lady from Jamaica, the lady in foreign, the lady who has a platform called Inside the Zone with the Lady D. Denise Gomez, aired Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Linkage Radio in New York and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is my pleasure to be here broadcasting on another Saturday morning because this platform was designed simply to say, hey, I am from Jamaica. This is my culture, and to bring everybody else in. That's what I'm saying, to bring everybody else in. So, wherever you are, whomever you are, it is a good Saturday. We're breathing. And guess who? As I blew that breath, guess who just zoomed right in? Maxine Lyons, aka Max Poet. Max.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning to you, Lady D, and the listeners and those who are watching live. Welcome. How are we
Yes,
all doing?
we're good, Max. So good to see you. So good to
Cook
see you.
yet?
How you do? How
Coffee
you
make
do?
yet?
How you do?
I am doing fabulous, darling. I'm doing amazing. I cannot complain because the
Yes.
two sides I go out and in. You know what I'm saying?
See,
So if we're breathing, we're doing great.
We're doing
Even
great.
if we have a little knee pain, we're doing great.
Yes. And I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is not our first time together, Maxine and yours truly. We have
Absolutely.
been doing this for a long time, both in person, via radio, and here now we are here on the virtual space.
Yes.
So, wherever you are, we invite you to come on into the room and let's start the show because Max have a whole lot going on that we need to hear about. And since we're both Jamaicans, we want to say, hey, this is how we roll from yard, and we have carried
Absolutely.
it. We have carried it right here
Mhm.
into our domicile. The place we
Yes.
eat, sleep, rest, everything,
And drink.
right? Work
Yes.
and drink, get slim, get fat, get thin, get,
The whole 9 yards.
the whole 9 yards. So
Yes.
I'm just saying, welcome to everyone. It's a good day. And I know that we have a lot of people who are busy this morning. Somebody just gone down a crossroad, Max.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody just gone down a crossing.
Yes.
Somebody just step up into their country bus.
Yes.
And so we need to know what are going on with you because speaking of country bus, we'll get to that. I will not preempt, but I'm just reminiscing. So, Max, welcome again.
Thank you, darling. It is always my pleasure to be with you, and you know that. And
Yes,
I have to let the listeners know that you're one of my inspiration in what I do, because I remember the very, not to jump the gun, but I remember the very first time I performed at your church. I was invited by a young lady called Pauline. And
Mm-hmm.
right as I got off the stage with my performance, you find me in the crowd and say, I have to interview you. I need to do an interview with you. And you invite me
Yeah.
for an interview inside of
Yes.
British Radio. Never forgetting Mount Vernon. And
Mm-hmm.
from then we just ate it. And it's been solid since that.
We've been
So
at it,
that's
at
all
it,
to you, darling.
at it. We haven't changed. And so we want to welcome everyone. Don't forget that inside the zone, we have our chat going on. So spread the word, send it out. Hey, we're live. Let's get the show underway. So, Max, I set up, how I bossy already. So let me just scroll away. Saturday morning runnings with guest Maxine Lyons, aka Max Poet, and we know that it is gonna just be fun galore, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
can I tell you one of your favorite pieces of mine? Family history as a
That's a
picnic.
picnic.
One of my
History as a
favorite.
picnic. I know that's a favorite of yours. And
It
I also know that you
is.
like me one George Truth.
Oh dear Lord. As for that,
Yeah.
So Max, let's start talking.
Okay.
Early beginnings. I know you're from the Garden Parish.
Yes, absolutely.
Share with us.
Okay, so of course I was born in Kingston. I grew up in St. Mary with my grandmother, who passed
Hmm.
away unfortunately. May her soul rest in peace. And you know, when you grow with your grandmother, your lifestyle is totally different from growing up with your mother. And by
Indeed.
the way, a Saturday morning like this, I would have been in church right now.
Yes, because
But
you're
let you know that
Adventist,
because I
right?
grew up in the Seventh Adventist. My
Yes,
grandmother was a
yes.
Seventh Adventist, so I grew up in the church. So,
Mm-hmm.
but so Saturday morning and a Saturday like this, of course, as I said, I would be in church. However, I'm still familiar with the other things that happened on a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I went to high school, primary school, high school, and college in Jamaica, and all of that was due to my grandmother's efforts. May her soul rest in peace.
Locks, grandma.
Without her, the education that I have, I would never have had it without her. She
Yes.
tried really hard. She got a market like we have right behind you there to sell load whatever it was thinking to a banana plant and yam, whatever she could get her hand on. She
Mm-hmm.
would go to the market and sell in order to provide. I
Oh,
would just have to
nice.
say for me because I was the only grandchild that grew up with her during that
Mm-hmm.
era. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just for me phenomenal in St.
Oh,
Mary.
nice,
There
nice.
was nothing posh and fancy. There was nothing rich. Everything was just down to earth. You know, my poem about the one church shoes, that's a
Oh,
true
yes.
story. That was
Mm-hmm.
my one church shoe. I would wear to church every Saturday, whether I wear polka that pretty or whatever. It
Oh
was
my
just
God.
the one shoes. And the shoes was multicolor. So it go with everything with that match or it no match.
Yes,
That's how
yes.
life in Jamaica for me as a child growing up back then. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't rich, as I said before, but the culture itself was rich.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
never had money, but we loved what we had. We enjoyed what we had because we never know a second way either. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so what
Mm-hmm.
we had was rich to us, you know.
My goodness. And Max, every time I remember that story because you even talked about how you you would oil your foot with the coconut oil.
Yes, yes, because we never had lotion. That
My
was it. And
goodness.
when if coconut oil wasn't available, after you finish being, you wet your foot, soap it up and soap up like your foot, and make your foot shine and stiff. But at least it looks so dry and crispy.
Yes, yes, yes. Because for some of us, we never had that experience.
No,
But I
I know.
respect to the very core people who have had,
Yes,
because there's something about them that they can't fabricate.
right.
It is
No,
real, it's
it's
authentic,
real. Yes.
and you can't take that away from them. So I
No.
want to just big you up, bless you up this morning because you've come a long way.
Absolutely. Young lady,
This
I've come
Saturday
a long way.
morning, yeah,
Yes,
you have come a long
a
way.
long way. And I never forget my roots. I never forget where I'm coming from. And it
Right?
stays inside of me. And that's the reason why I write the way I write. I've been
Mm-hmm.
questioned as to why you write patois all the time because it's the culture I grew up with, it's the language I knew. So I can't let it out of my system. I think I need to maintain and
Mm-hmm.
caress it and keep it with
Mm-hmm.
me because it means a lot to me.
My girl, and I would say you hold on to it there because it has given us a lot of burst of laughter.
Yes. Now I'm
Knowing that,
encouragement.
yes, man, knowing that it just, as so it go, it's the truth. Welcome,
Yes.
everyone. You are coming into the room. And those of you who are on Max Poets platform, don't forget, she has shared, like, subscribe to my channel, and let's build the numbers. And come on in. Let's have a good chat this morning with Maxine Lyons, aka Max Poet. So, Max, let's talk. Study ration at NCU. Give me a little bit of that.
Okay, so of course I started college in 1980. 80, yes, right after I
Mhm.
finished high school. I did secretarial science or office administration. That's where I did my studies. It was
Okay.
quite a few years. Those were some challenging years too, because at NCU, it's a paid institution. It's an Adventist institution. You have to pay everything from pocket. But fortunate for us back then, I don't know if they still do it now. You were able to work a year or two to
Mm-hmm.
accumulate funds to pay for your tuition. So I
Okay.
worked for 1 year for full time, and then I started school in the summer, and then I
Mm-hmm.
started classes in the summer, and then I worked part time. But then when it
Okay.
came down to the nitty gritty, I had to let go of the part time because the school work now take over. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't, you have to choose between working part time and, of course, doing your studies. So
Mm-hmm.
of course I had to let go of the part time, but it was some challenging years getting
Yes.
through. But thank God I earned my Associate of Science degree
So
in office administration.
go
So,
on, Max. Go
and a
on.
lot of people that started out with me never made it to the end. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to tap myself on the shoulder because
Of
I made
course.
it
Please
to
do.
graduation. Yes.
Please do. Let's hop on over and say hello to our guests. We do have guests here, Max. So we always big them up. Want to say good morning to Errol Stewart, aka Cat. We grew up in good old Pennants, Clarendon together. So him say good morning, everyone.
Yeah, man in
And
Errol, because Jamaican
in
not say
there.
Errol, we say Errol.
Errol, see him so.
Betty
And
love me
guess
there.
Bet send me there morning. And
Morning, Betty love.
Christine. Hey Christine, morning to you
Morning,
too.
Christine.
Yes, man. So we want to bless up. And don't forget, it's an interactive chat platform. So as much as you can laugh and chat with us. All right, we want to say it's now time for us to get a piece of what Max does. Because while we're talking, it's entertainment. Right,
Yes,
Max?
it is.
So,
So I
what
think
would
I
you
want to
like to
do.
share with us first of all this morning?
I
Yeah.
have so much to share. It's not even funny, but let me see which one you want. Do you want the one church choose?
Yes. So we're
I
going
know
to
it's
bust a poem.
okay. So I'll give you me one church shoes. It looked like poor and for me family did always there. Farm never used to left with nowhere. He used to there all over we kitchen, especially in our pot with feeding presents. None of we could afford. Cause anything named food, he never joke to take with that. The next place he did like to visit was the clothes and shoes closet. And let me tell you the same thing. He never make fun for rabbit. He left me with one pair of church shoes. Like him only presents was for abuse. My cousin come from England and give me one multicolor platform. And just because I'm poor, it turned out to be my only uniform. Every week I me put on when me I go to church. Whether me I wear plain, pretty, plaid or polka dot frock. It was the multicolor platform that did always the on spot. The first and second time me wear it, my friend them get excited and tell me how them like it. But after a while, it start to come out of style. You see, it did get so stale. It never even fit to go up and see it. The heel it start to walk down. And so it start to lean. The side them cratchy. And the toe point out if it scream. If that the shoes could have talk, it would have tell you how much it walk. And a little hill it climb. Pan rough road and a smooth. People, this is a true story. And a hearsay and a hear board. Poor never joke for shoes. I always want to amuse. This a for me personal story. All about me one church shoes. But thank God me have a whole heap now. You can pick, choose, and refuse. You name the color. You name the style. Bright, flat, and high. You can wear a different one every day. And none no look the same. But in spite of all this here luxury, we can never forget the long-lasting story of me one church shoes. And Max Ford says so. And it
Yes. Yes, my favorite, one of my favorites. Yes, Max. And you know something, Max, as you're talking about the one church
shoes.
shoes, that means the other time then you did barefoot.
No, I had crepe to
Yeah.
wear to school. But the one church shoes was the one church shoes, you know. You wear the one church shoes every Saturday wear, and it's the same dress up shoes too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So now on the church, if you go beside you go, I had a dress up for kids and it's the same shoes.
Lord have
So
mercy.
but there were times too, you mentioned about before, there were times when I went to school bare feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, me go to school barefoot too. Uniform well pressed and crispy, starch and stiff, well
Man,
pressed, but me barefoot.
can
I
you?
love
Mm.
asphalt hot upon you. When you get races and goats and I walk on the corridor, the school is concrete, you know, so you know it's hot.
Yes.
And you're barefoot out there. Just imagine that. Just picture that. Because when
Lord.
they buy a crepe for you, start with September with that crepe, and the crepe
Mm-hmm.
mash up, you not get no more till January.
And was that from butter?
Oh yes, darling. Oh, you know so.
There was a butter in Maypen.
There was a butter in another bay, and there was one in Highgate, St. Mary. Yes, there was. So butter was where all the crepe came from. And when rain fall and you go to school in rainfall and you're coming from school, you dare not walk home in that crepe, you know. You have to take off the crepe and hold it in your hand and walk barefoot in the mud. Because
In
if you
fact,
ever go home with the crepe and the mud up and wet up, you know what's gonna happen, right?
you're not problem.
It's trouble.
So, as we all know, so let's say hi to everyone. Please, those of you who are watching, just share the link with somebody. And while you're sharing it, say, hey, subscribe to Lady D's channel. No, man, welcome. It's Saturday morning runnings. My name is Lady D, Denise Gomez. Welcome to the show this morning. My guest is Max Poet, Maxine Lyons. Yes, that's her name. So she just gave us one of her poems. We want church shoes. So now we're talking about shoes, Max. So let's make the transition. We know as West Indians, you know, Christmas is a big thing. And we know it'll come. Like it or not, next week, Saturday, a Christmas.
Yes.
Tell me about your Christmas days
Oh
growing up.
Lord, Mrs. The Christmas days when me look at picnic there easy, you know, let me tell you something. It's one of my favorite holiday of all times. For me a picnic until now, me a big woman. Still love Christmas, still behave like picnic. My husband thinks me crazy when it comes to Christmas. But Christmas back then for me as a child, the preparation for it was where the excitement was. Because during near to Christmas, you have the sardine who grown in the district and collect any chip mug, any mug where leak, any plate, anything. I would get them sardine fixed up for Christmas.
So what are you saying?
Yes, in collect.
I never know that. I
The
don't
cup
have
have
that
a hole and the plate
experience.
have a hole. The sardine man come around and collect them, carry them away, solder them and bring them back before Christmas.
Really?
The next thing was the buckle man. We used to have man come around with caucus bag,
Yeah,
and they would buy bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the quart bottle, they must sing the quart, the pint bottle, right through the district. Yes, and we gather every quart bottle and wash them, and they buy those. Of course, with pennies, but it was something. Then the drinks truck. You know about the drinks truck?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
gather all of the drinks bottle and we go everybody out, every bush, and we sell wherever we could find the drinks bottle. And you gather them and you wash them, you put them in a crate. You have to buy the crate, because we never have the crate. You gather them in the crate, you put it on your head, and you go on the main road, and the drink shop will come, and you carry 2 empty crates with bottles, and you get a full case of drinks. We call it drinks then, or soda. Okay, and that is for Christmas. Then my grandmother would buy what they call, there was a wine called Putsnick wine. You know, some little bottle we used to buy it, she used to buy it in Kingston. Then she'd also buy the regular wine where they sell by the gallon or by the quart. And you know, all of that was gathering now, getting stuff together. Thank you, Leighton. Getting stuff together for Christmas. Then of course the goats, I forget fatten. And then the pound of the yard, I forget fat, because back then we never have refrigerator, so everything was done the day before or the day after Christmas. So the goat for Christmas, you kill the district, you're killing a goat, you kill it Christmas morning, everybody gather and get them 2 pound and 3 pound, whatever they could afford.
Mm-hmm.
and then you still kill a fowl if you are killing fowl. You understand what I'm saying? But one of the things that I recall as a child and that I really love and would love to get some right now is the a thing called gulgul and kuruma.
Oh.
Gulgul and kuruma, it's an Indian dish, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like a pastry. So it's like your fried dumpling, but you put sugar in it.
Okay.
That is the gulgul, and they put baking powder, everything, and they make them little balls,
Mm-hmm.
small round balls, and fried. And then the kuruma now, all of this was made from flour. And then the kuruma now, they knead the flour, make it in a long string like a worm, and cut it in small pieces,
Mm-hmm.
fry it, and then they drop it in sugar. So
Oh.
the dough itself was not sweet, it's just the outside that was sweet, and that was crispy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you something, people. If you didn't love that, to tell me fool.
Lord. So yeah, the favorite.
Yes, and
Yes,
then
yes.
all the Indians in the district, and my mother, of course, was married to an Indian. She they made what they call puri roti or dal roti. Some people know it as dal roti. They made puri roti or dal roti. That was a
Mm-hmm.
biggie for Christmas as well. Then the balloon blew hang up on veranda in that hall. We call it hall. It was a living
Hall. Oh,
room.
you know,
It was in
so
the hall.
hall.
We hang up a balloon
Mm-hmm.
and we whatever pretty we could find. The grandmother would sew a curtain. That was
Yeah.
one thing she did every time. She would always buy new fabric to make the
Mhm.
curtain for the window. No matter
Yes,
how we
please.
pour our way, nah, no money. The new curtain have to go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course we wash the flowers, we clean the window, the floor was extra shiny, of course. The straw dye, the whatever dye we could find, we dye up the floor, and everything was just extra special and different for Christmas.
So can cry Cree? Can I ask if you had any peacock
Peacock what?
sheet, the
But
spreads?
yeah, oh yes, you could ask that. Then me sitting there I have
Mm-hmm.
to wash. So of course, my grandmother had a green one.
Right.
My grandmother had a green one and she had a yellow one. Yes, we had the peacock spread.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yes,
still have
please.
nowadays. So I have a red one now too, because you know we can't do without the peacock.
Oh, you
And
have
it's in the
you
bubble.
have one.
Yes, I have a red one.
Okay, go on here, Max.
It's not totally peacock, but the flavor peacock.
Camouflage.
Or a bootleg.
Lord.
Oh Lord, this is
Yes.
fun.
But but Christmas as a picnic was something else, you know, Max.
Yes, I'm telling you, it was a different era.
Yes.
It was just phenomenal. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I can't forget and I'll never forget Christmas as a picnic. Mhm.
No, sir. Because even remember, it's almost like the breeze blow different. So
Yes,
granted, you know,
it's different. It is
they
not
always
almost,
say,
it is different.
yes,
It is
but
different.
not
It was
only in
different.
the crisp, not only in the air that is crisp and
Yes,
clear, but just the spirit of the
of
community.
Christmas. It
Oh
was just
my God.
different.
So, and the
Because
whitewashing of the stones.
yes, we whitewash the stone. We're the ones who were rich because we never really whitewash. I don't say neighbor them who have a little more money. We
I hear.
whitewash and paint the
Oh,
house outside and sand dash it and I don't
okay.
know, but and not to mention the dance. That
Mm-hmm.
was another thing that was very significant. Even though I was a child and I never went to dance,
Mm-hmm.
there was a little here in my a little crossing in my district and call it so to a bump.
Oh.
Our cousin,
Mm-hmm.
they would make this big poster. The poster back then was handwritten with marker.
Okay.
So they handwrite the poster to say Prince Buster is coming to perform or whoever the DJs were at that time.
Love
Forget some of
that.
them name, Prince Buster, DJ,
Yes.
whatever. And then write these posters with the date and everything at the time and put it on the Aki tree, big Aki
Mm-hmm.
tree in the district in the same square. And then go
Mm-hmm.
to the main road and put one on the light post. You have to go up on the light post to read it because it wrap around the entire light post. So when you read it, you're going around in a circle to read it. Because they
Mm-hmm.
never had what to put it out so you could just read it regularly. So that would
Mm-hmm.
be for the dance. And for the dance, oh my God, I was that child, but I looked forward to it even though I wasn't going.
Yes,
Because it
yes.
was pretty close to me whenever I had electricity, so that they would use what they call Delco.
Mm-hmm.
Delco back then to for the dance. And then you see, if them a look, oh, them a kill goat, big firelight with cursing in a soup. Then there's another fire with the curry goat and the rice and
Lord.
very nice all night. The Delco make nice and the music make
Like
nice.
nice.
You know.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, as a child, you enjoyed it. I would sit down on the veranda and peep through the bush and peep to see what me can see and who me can see.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the lawn wasn't anything fancy. It was made with bamboo and coconut limb. So
Mm-hmm.
they make up a bamboo structure. You just split the bamboos into and make up a structure. and
Okay.
wrap it around with the coconut leaf so you can peep in at the dance and you have to pay to go in.
You have to pay.
You can't peep and you can't go in. If
You
there's
you
one
see
person
that?
at the gates collecting to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And that dance would run all night until next morning, Sunday morning or whichever morning it is,
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it was just a different thing. Back then you could leave the door open. You never had to worry about who going to break in and who's gonna come in. Life
Yes.
back then was just phenomenal, lady. I'm telling you, when I know that I'm saying it and I'm looking back in my mind, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what era we're living in. Things has changed so much.
Much, yes. And that time, um, there are people who are still holding on to that culture.
Yes,
They have not let it go.
I know.
Some of those who are in the very deep rural parts of Jamaica and other Caribbean islands, they hold on to their culture. People
Yes.
think them old fashioned.
Fashion, yes.
Yeah, but they don't want to let it go because they're not able to adjust. They have made the adjustment.
And yet, yes, that's true.
Well, it's a while now, but they really haven't made the adjustment. And life is still moving on, right?
Leave them behind, right?
And I leave them behind
Yes.
because it's just the other day, Chris on my show mentioned something about the rotary phone. He said it too. I think it was his daughter, and she's asking how that work.
Work, yes.
You see, so
Because they
because
know
they don't have a clue.
they don't
They
have
just touch a button and hear the tone,
and
and
things
you
ready.
don't even hear dial tone anyway.
No,
It just ring,
it just ring.
right?
I know. I remember the rotary phone too. That was something is when they make a call take you forever because my
Whatever you spin
phone so I
round,
have to wait till they
spin
come back to
round.
the next number.
Absolutely.
We have come a
Welcome
long way, guys. We have come a long
to
way.
Saturday morning runnings. Welcome, everyone. We're having a great conversation here with Maxine Lyons, aka Max Poet. It's my pleasure having you. Don't forget, if you're on, like the channel, subscribe to it, and share it to somebody. If you are here for the first time and you have never, ever, ever been on this platform, put up your hand and say, Me, Lady D. And when you put up your hand and say, Me, Lady D, then guess what you're going to do for me? You're just going to subscribe to the channel, like it, touch the bell, etc. And you'll be able to see all my broadcasts once I pop up. So, good morning, everybody. So, Max, let's move.
Yes.
We talk about Christmas because if we talk about Christmas from now, then
It
the
is
morning
as
not
well.
go done, but it'll come anyway. So, reggae in your bones. Something happened with you, your Max. Something happened. Something happened. Tell us about this new
New
phone
venture.
phenomenon.
Yes. Well, all of a sudden, Mr. Brad put you write music. Well, let me tell you something. This coronavirus COVID thing has changed and has discovered and has moved a lot of us in many ways. And it
Mhm.
has moved me towards in the musical direction. Well, I started a little bit before, but
Yes.
then once COVID hit, I started moving more into the musical direction because Lady D and everyone on the live, I love music with a passion.
Yes.
Yes, I do. And for me, I look up it, me love music. You may talk about the dance back in my district, but then
Yes,
I
please.
dance for me, enjoy it still. Well, I recorded my first song, Woman Go Home.
Sure.
That was my first. Woman Go Home is not my personal song. I just
Mhm.
acted it. And when I
Okay.
recorded it, it felt so good and sounded so nice to me. So my producer said, Why don't you do one of your poems into a song?
Okay.
So I
Nice.
decided to do Survival at the Toughest, which is an original poem, but I made it into a song. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, that did very well. So then I did Farina the Bout, which is
One of mine.
a poem as well, but I made it into a song. No, me can't say them
Mhm.
as poem anymore. Because when I remember them going a poem, I know them as song now.
Okay.
And
Good.
from Farina the Bout, I went into Sex and a Secret.
Yes. Yes. I
That
know
one is a
that one.
favorite of everybody. It's
Yes.
ticking the chart ever since I released it.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I also did another one called Up Take Over, which
Okay.
went number one on the chart. Sex and the Secret was number one on two charts. Sex
Mm-hmm.
and the Secret went number one on the charts in LPI Radio and Mikey D in the UK. And it
Mm-hmm.
went number one on Fresh Red Cup Monday,
Okay.
Fresh 92 with
Mm-hmm.
Green. And then I did Up Take Over, which also went to a number one position on Red Cup Monday with Green. And then there's a collaboration that I did called New York, New York.
Okay.
I did that with D.A.J. Johnson. Of course, he's in up in New York. Never blessed the eye upon him, but we did a song together. Think
And
about
true.
that.
Say there now.
That's the heights of technology. And
Absolutely.
then I did Hot Flash, which is
Mm-hmm.
for people like you and I.
No, me not on that calendar.
Well, Hot Flash is about the ladies. If you're 50 and over, you know what I mean.
It's quite true. Aye.
You
Amen.
know what I feel like when Hot
Yes.
Flash come in.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then, of course, I did my latest one, You See Me Glory. And that one
Okay.
is really taking the airways by storm.
Yes, yes.
Everyone loves it, and they're getting a whole lot of airplay.
So
So,
so you have to go do something here this morning.
yes, I forgot to
Mm-hmm.
say.
You have to go do something righteous and no. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll do my favorite, which is my latest.
All right.
This one is called You See Me Glory, and it goes like this: Life sometimes rough, it gets tough, but me glad me never give up. Me come from far always I work hard. Money in never enough. Me used to left from work, go at work. Weekend spree, what that did mean. Dress up and go sport, that was a joke. Not when me have whole heap of bills to pay. Sit down pan table, wait. You see me glory, but you don't know me story. So not judge me. Yeah, you see me glory, but you don't know me story. So stop judge me. Me used to clean 3 house in one day. For one little bit of pay. Put up with crap from facey picnic. Just pick make the ends them meet. Me pay for the almighty green card. But all me money went up in flames. All of me work was in vain. You see me glory, but you don't know me story. So stop judge me. You see me glory, but you don't know me story. So not judge me. No life change. Me graduate from that class. Master God has changed all, all that stress and strain. You see me glory, but you don't know me story. So stop judge me. You see me glory, but you don't know me story. So not judge me. Yeah, you see me glory, but you don't know me story. So stop judge me. Max Point says so, and it goes up.
Yes, 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 Max. That was good. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you too.
Yes, because again, it is an entertainment platform. It's not just about the talk, so we want to hear the voices of our guests because, we're a family here, our guests when they appear. So, Max,
Yes, dear.
now that you're in this space, right?
Mhm.
And we know how people can just bust out and think,
Yes.
right? Bust out because there is something about the stage that you love. What is
Yes.
that core thing?
Okay, that core thing for me is to
Mm-hmm.
see people laugh. Believe it or not, I enjoy seeing my people I'm performing to or performing for laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see people having fun. So it's the fun part of it for me, believe it or not. It is.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That is the fun part.
That's the fun part. The fun part. I like to see if I'm up there performing a poem and you're laughing and you're enjoying it. That's what makes
Mm-hmm.
me happy as a person or as a performer.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And your Jamaican culture, how you see it today now? Because Christmas are come and we are here in this country and we make the best of how we can make it happen for us, right?
Yes.
Whether it's the black cake or the sorrel, whatever. But how you think we are kind of gelling with each other at this time? You think we're too far apart? We're just too busy? We're too selfish? We're just in our own space? What is that?
Well, you know what? It's a very good question. And I think we're too far apart in our own space. And
Mhm,
especially with this COVID going on, we find it hard to gather. It's hard to gather,
mhm.
but we still should try together. You just follow the
Yes.
protocol and start trying together because we don't know when. You understand? So we really want
Mhm,
to be with family because it's the whole idea of Christmas, coming together. The whole
mhm,
idea of Christmas is not just we know it's the birth of Christ, but we also know it's family togetherness and family celebration. And we're
mhm.
too far apart. Too many times we say, "Oh, me and your friend from Facebook," and we don't even know each other. Last night, for
Absolutely.
example, I got a call from a total stranger. He's an artist in Jamaica, and he called me on camera and I had to take the call. I've never
Oh,
seen him, but it was just a pleasure to have spoken to him because and it
oh.
was a brief chat. But these are people you see on the Facebook page. They like what you write, they like what you sing,
Mhm.
but you don't get a chance to talk to them. So every now and then I get a call and I just accept it. Sometimes I can't, depending on the circumstances, and I'll
Mhm.
talk to them. So we need to gel together, as you said. If possible, we need to gel together. So if you want, come look for me. Come look for me. They right down here, sir.
Right.
You see what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes.
we,
Yes.
we don't have to be hugging and kissing up and carrying on, and we have to
Mhm.
still keep the distance as we know what's going on, but we
Mhm.
can share together. and
That's
and
right.
the one thing I know we have to get we the one thing I know that we have in common as Jamaicans and Caribbean people in general, when it comes to Christmas, of course you mentioned the black cake and the sorry,
Mhm.
because you are making your black cake, I'm making your sorrel, I'm making mine.
Yeah.
Too bad we're far apart. You can't taste mine and I can't taste you. But we can mail it. Somebody promised my husband a cake and she's gonna be mailing it here.
Okay.
So Christmas is the time of togetherness. But let's not forget the real meaning, because a lot of times we go away from the real meaning, which is
Yes.
the birth of Christ.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, in our lives we need him, we need God.
Yes.
Very
No.
important not to forget that part while
Absolutely.
we're merrymaking and drinking and carrying on.
The platform could not have gone any better this morning, having not mentioned our
Yes,
creator, right?
yes, very
So let
important.
me ask you now. So Donna, you're crossing, because
Mhm.
Donna, my crossing a penance. So let's backtrack a little bit to the
Yes,
Christmas story.
yes.
You had the butcher. There is that major butcher, and then you have other little ones around
Yes,
who you go get your lean off this and your leg off that, right?
right.
Who was your butcher?
Well,
So
in my district,
Mass Jaw Boy was our butcher.
well,
Can't you
well, let me
remember
tell you
Mass
now. So,
Jaw Boy?
so in my district, there was an Indian man, which is my mother, the mother, husband, brother. Open the can that use a GPS. Mother, husband, brother. He was kind of the butcher in the district.
Eh,
He always kill a goat or two goat for Christmas.
yes.
He only do goats. The cow and the big other stuff. And there were people that kill pigs as well, but he was
Mhm.
specialized in killing goats. So he would let everybody this, I'm gonna kill a goat. How much you want? And everybody who want the head will order the head, who want
Mhm.
the foot order the foot, and we
Mhm.
order whatever.
Mhm.
So I would say Isaac, but may his soul rest in peace. He passed away, but he was one of the person in the street that did killing of anything. They go, but
Okay.
most people kill them own fowl, of course, and put them
Mhm.
fat up for Christmas for the season.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Isaac was in the, other than that, there was Highgate, the market, where you could
Okay.
go and buy your beef and everything else in the
Mhm.
market itself.
Mhm. So me
Mhm.
can ask you, because most pick me who I'm in the reverse. I keep telling people I was born in Kingston and then at 7 I went to Penance.
Right.
All right. So but in the reverse now, most people grow a country and come a town.
Yes, but I was born in Kingston and go a country.
So same story. But you know during that time when you may be sick, because when you hear people are come from town, I want big something,
No, tell me about it, my dear.
You look for people, you guys coming from England. You look for people come down from town. Them say, Maria come down or Jana come
Come
down.
down.
Mhm.
Well,
And it's
well,
almost
well,
like,
Well, when my uncle and auntie then come from town, it was a big thing for me. Cause me know me I get 10 cents or 20 cents, and 10 cents can buy the world.
Right, right. See that?
And
That's
you
what we're
go bush
talking
and you look
about.
for the biggest cane, you look for the biggest jackfruit, make them peel the prettiest coconuts,
And them
and
get
cut
it.
banana, give them the biggest and the banana and the biggest plant if you care back at all.
So and sometimes you say, I wonder when we can go at town too.
Well, you know what? I never really wonder. I used to go there on holidays. Because
Hmm.
you during the year you're going to school.
Right.
So like when the summer holiday come around, I would go to Kingston and spend holidays with my aunt. But
Yes.
I have a little quick story to tell about that. I remember I was very young, probably 12 or so. So my grandmother used to do igloring. That was her
Mhm.
job, igloring. So I wish there was a cousin that came to St. Mary to spend time. So we take the market truck the next morning, our bus.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was market truck or a bus. But it was my grandmother, the cousin, and me. We went to Kingston because I was going there to spend holiday. But that cousin that was staying with us is from Kingston. So when we
Mhm.
went to Kingston, of course, we're at Carnation Market. So my grandmother said, okay, she don't want to
You,
have us
you, mean-
all
you
day.
mean my market right here?
Miss your market, Mrs. Missy, melon and the tomato and what that
See,
Irish potato and the
I
whole
maybe
nine
me need
yards.
to move the here.
So it's like behind your account money. Yes. So as I was saying, so the cousin and I had to go up to White Street. White Street is the bad area, considered the bad area of Kingston back then, and probably worse now, I don't know. Anyway, the
Mhm.
cousin and I had to go. We take the bus. So when we got off the bus, but it was a boy. He was, of course, he's male. So he know want to walk with me because, but some boys back then were shy and silly.
Yes.
So we got off the bus together. And he walked fast, gone, left me, and I mean, know me,
What?
Yes, he walked away, gone. So I had to watch him because I can't keep up with him. And I
Mm-hmm.
watched to see what gate he went in. And when him going through the gate, but then them gate wasn't gate like what we have now. It was, White Street or Kingston was the board up, vents up, zinc
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I knock on the door and my auntie let me. And my auntie was upset with him. Why you leave her? She don't know where she go.
Because him no want him friend them
No
see
one
man.
if you see me walk with him.
Me know that
Can
go.
you imagine the country picnic in the glass in that town?
Yes. Yes.
But the good
Mm-hmm.
thing I was observing, so I saw where he went. So of course I went in. So that was spending holiday in Kingston. I look forward to that because then they get party ice cream on Friday even come and all kind of nice things that you would normally get in the country. You
Mm-hmm.
get it when they go Kingston to spend holiday. So I enjoyed a lot of that.
There you go, man.
Yes.
And you know something. When I started Saturday morning runnings, for
Yes.
most people who follow me, I'd love the world to follow me, but they don't reach yet.
They must come.
Them a come. And so I used to just put out in my WhatsApp and post it on the Facebook and stuff, you
Right.
know, how, and post pictures of the mackerel and the dumpling and the bully beef and
And the
people are
bread.
washing river and all kind of something. And
Very
then I said to
nostalgic.
myself, I need to start having people join me
Right.
because me can only share so much story
And
and
no
no
more.
more,
Yes,
right?
true.
At some point, you need to understand that, hey, you have something, but you need participation.
Absolutely. Because there are other people with different experience and different culture than what you have.
There you go. And when I spoke to my guest last week, Jen, she took us back to some time too. And here you are this morning. But some of the things you mentioned, I don't even know because in my community, or maybe I personally didn't know. Because I tell people when I walked into my family house, they had anchor butter. People look at
Well, remember Uncle Butter? But back then, in a marriage growing up, Uncle Butter was for the rich people and the regular salt butter.
my point exactly. When we mention anchor butter, people laugh because they say anchor butter. And same thing.
Let me tell you something. You know what butter I remember? And you probably don't know because you're too young. But I remember Miss Madeline shop where we used to buy groceries on a Saturday night. They
Uh-huh.
had the butter in the tin like what the cheese come in.
Mhm.
The same size tin that you get cheese from.
Oh,
They used to have butter in cans like those. So they open it up and say the little like use a spoon and spoon it out and put it on the scale and weight and sell you.
hmm.
See, you don't even
Okay.
know that you're too
Oh,
young.
no. You don't know that one.
And then
You
they
know,
had, and then they had the stick button in the box too, that yellow box with the
yes,
red writing. Never forget that.
salt like tomorrow.
Like tomorrow.
Mhm.
So the anchor butter
Salt.
was for rich people. It wasn't really too much for me. Me did too rich.
See, Colette, hey, Lurchy Colette is having a good time. She pop up with laughing this morning.
Welcome, Colette.
Yeah, so sometimes, when we think about, boy, how we grew up, and some people have their experiences were so bad
Yes.
that, they don't want to talk about it at all and so on, but it has
Yes.
made them more resilient.
Right.
But along that journey, I believe there must have been something that you said, boy, had it not been for that experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to handle whatever it is today
Right.
in
Yes.
my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I grew up seeing children barefoot. I mean, there's no shoes.
Yes.
I
You go to
chose not to wear shoes on Friday, which was to my grandmother's displeasure. Because me, I
okay.
try fit with the other pick me them.
Others who were
Right. So
barefooted.
on
Yeah.
a Friday, it was a pleasure. Me no know where me did pick up this thing from. To go school. Seriously,
Yeah.
Friday we just gone barefoot. And I also one day saw a child. I was going to John Austin Primary Max. A
Yes.
child come to school with the cardboard cutout and
Mm-hmm.
then them use rubber band.
And put over the next
And,
slipper.
oh, so Denise make one. Me make one. And was
Yourself.
profiling up into my slippers. And it felt good because then I'm like, oh, this is how this child feel. In my head, that's
Yeah,
not
in
what
your
I'm
mind.
thinking, right?
Yes.
But
I know what you mean.
I,
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to have that experience too.
Yes.
Yeah. So even though the anchor butter was what it was, but still, um, you understand how some children had to make themselves
What they have.
happy.
Yes.
The buckle stop a truck, the orange, this that they made, because they not get no toys and stuff
No,
like
and
that.
the tire with a piece of stick.
There
Your
you
own
go.
tire.
And then roll it down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one Christmas, I don't know, I had a fascination with the drum. I just love when they roll me in the drum.
Lord, missus.
And then when we come out of the drum,
You're dizzy.
not only am I dizzy, but me clothes, because inside of the drum, get all when me come out, me clothes is looking like you don't know what. Right? So when we talk about, the days, but seriously, they love when they roll me in my back.
And the way you're saying it, I'm just picturing the whole thing in my mind. So I'm
I'm
like,
telling you, I just you put yourself in that fetal position and just
yes.
enjoy the ride. I remember roll you and you bounce all over the drum. So
Well,
as
I remember the coconut limb. We used to get
Mhm,
coconut limb, and there was a thing called bow. It came off some tree. It
mhm,
shaped like a boat. But
mhm.
after a while, it get tacky, of course, tacky and ripped up. But we'd sit in it and run down the road, down the hill. But when we go spring for water, it was trouble because there's no way we're coming back quick. Because you have to
They,
have all that fun while you're away from your parents sometimes, you know?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I can really relate to all of what you're saying.
I tell you, Max. So it is really nice to go down memory lane
Yes.
and to say, hey, no matter where you reach, kindly remember where you
Where
come
you're
from.
coming from.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please remember where you're coming from, because
Your
at
history
some
is
point you're
important.
gonna lose your sense of self
Yes.
purpose,
Absolutely.
and
Yep.
so on. So we're wrapping up in a few minutes because guess what? Me have wedding.
God business. So
Yeah, online wedding
you have to
figure.
jump out that Christmas into wedding.
I made
So
a go wear
cute.
the wedding outfit this man. Me said no, me can't go a wedding with the market background.
No, you have to change it.
You see what
Have
me
to,
mean?
yes.
Yes.
Let's have a
So
theory in their market control.
what is the last piece you have to share with us this morning? Give
Well,
us
I might as well give you maybe I should give you to make history as a picnic. You want that one or do you want
yes,
weave or leave?
no man. For me, history as a pick me is good.
All right, for me history as a picnic. For me history as a picnic. Never easy at all. Sometimes when me look back, me just want to ball. But instead, me just clear my head and thank God say life not so bad. Though sometimes me get a little sad. When me consider how we did poor, me never have to wonder if poor did know we do. Cause him always come knock and him not left at all until somebody call out or get a heart attack. The luxury we me have now, me never have them then. Even simple things like a best boyfriend. Them the time pick me at school. Never damn fool. Them stick to the richer one them who could have give them little food. Things like deodorant, perfume, and common lotion. To try and smell good, we have to mix with one a portion, like rub little coconut oil, or the soap where you bathe with, for your dry hoof to make them look like foot. Another luxury we never have was me styling paper. A man make me tell you, we but use the paper. Cause dry banana leaf, book leaf, and even the good old newspaper was the only means to even try and stay clean. Tell you the truth, people. Me was a virgin, but me used to walk lean. Cause the banana leaf and the newspaper used to treat me behind mean. As a little girl, me never know about stush and the boy them and cat them used to push. One time me go take pass and go try to shoot a bush. I want big red ants. A bite me pa me tush. See me history as a picnic. Could have full of book. Me even still remember the day me learn to cook. One thing for sure, me no shame no more, cause poor or poverty, I know me creative. You must always remember a little of your history. I know play rich and try to come and diss it. You have to love the past, you appreciate the present, and consider each day a big gift sent from heaven. And Max Poet says so, and it goes so. Thank you.
One of
Thank
my
you.
favorites. Just as I thought you were gonna do it, I even created one. Me even create my banner down the bottom there. You
Miss
see,
it.
me just so presumptuous. Me just know say to come.
Really dress up with me. And those are true to life stories, guys. These
Yes,
are not made up, they're reality. My
mm.
personal and own experience.
See, Colette, I'll clap you gone to bed.
Thank you, Colette.
Yes, man. And who this now? Big DJ
DJ
Shark.
Sharky. DJ
Mhm.
Sharky is in the Netherlands.
Oh,
He loves
welcome.
my new track. He plays my songs. My
Oh,
song went Sex on the Street was number one on the top 20 chart, number two on the top 20 chart in 2020, and Hot Flash was number
mhm.
one in 2021,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
January 2021. So he's one of the DJs that plays my song.
Yes.
Thank
So,
you for joining, Sharky.
of course. Sharky, I hope you're good over there in the Netherlands. And while you're at it, my Sharky, could you just subscribe to my channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D Denise Gomez? It has been a great morning. It's 10:53. I have wedding
No,
to
no,
go
you have
to.
to put on your pretty dan now.
It's up the top and attend wedding. But want to say, oh, a pleasure it has been for me having you here again, Max. You've been quite the consummate entertainer.
Thank you,
But
darling. Thanks.
yes, what can I say? And who will be my guest next week? Make we see now.
Well, we'll find out. That's a
We'll
secret.
find out. That's
It's
the
for the
secret.
guests to find. I want to say thank you, my darling. You has been an inspiration to me all these years and still continue to be. And I want to say thanks to everyone who joined. Please remember to subscribe and leave your comment if you like what you heard. Me not care if I don't like you, I don't like you, no right, leave some comment. You like you, I mean I like it, write the comment and subscribe. Let's support Lady D and support me too. I have a channel too. And
Yes.
also I want to, before we go, I want to let you know that I have my CD, for me history as a picnic. It has 10 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Foreign at about 10 tracks.
Yes.
And my book, Deep Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Thoughts is all poetry. It's written in English. There's
So
one.
where can they get all
They
these?
can find Deep Thoughts on Amazon. You can find it at xlibris.com, or you can get a signed copy from me directly. And for
Mm-hmm.
the CDs as well, you can get copies from me directly. You have to contact me to You can inbox me on my Facebook page or Instagram. Because I'm on
Okay.
Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm
Mhm.
on Twitter, I'm there everywhere, I'm there, me out.
Of course. Can you
And
imagine?
I also want to say thanks to all of the DJs who have been playing my songs. Of course, thanking
Yes.
Sharky for joining. He's one of them. Every
Hmm.
one of you have been playing my song and have been supporting me over the years. I so appreciate. Lady D,
Yes, ma'am.
hats off to you, darling. I appreciate love you
Of
to the
course.
max.
Thank you, Max. And I just want to let people know you can find me on social media, and I'm there. And if you don't see me again, see it there. Facebook, YouTube, email me inside the zone nyc at gmail.com. Inside the zone nyc at gmail.com. And I do have a segment on a first Saturday evening at 7 p.m. It's called Gifted Fingers Touching Lives. A gift, a calling, a purpose. It's for gifted musicians. So it's either they're playing their keyboard, their sax, their drums, something
Guitar.
happening. Yes, their guitar. It's always a good platform, entertaining, a lot of laughter,
Yes.
and I'm looking forward. So I want to bless up everyone. And Andrea, my good friend Andrea, who is in Barbados. So we have the Netherlands, we have Barbados, we have the New Yorkers. Who else, Max? On here who is perhaps not in our area?
I'm not seeing everyone right now. I'm just.
Okay. Where is Leighton?
Oh, Leighton is here. Leighton is a poet as well. He's a writer as well. He was in New York and he followed me to Georgia. So he lives in Georgia now.
What you say that?
He follow back on me.
In Falabaka, you.
So
Well,
he relocated to Georgia as well.
yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we
Nice.
used to be part of a poetry group in New York. So, I
Mhm.
stepped in and he joined us. So thank you, Leighton, for joining.
And
And
I want
thank
to say good morning to Maureen, happy Goldborn.
you.
Greetings, happy. And Chris will be my party. Chris says,
Hi, Chris.
awesome.
Thank you, Chris.
Morning, morning. So we're going to go now, everyone. So I'm hoping to be back next Saturday morning at 10. We'll figure out who the next guest is going to be.
Absolutely.
But
And we'll
Max,
respond. You'll send a
yes,
link out.
Max, I want to just bless you up and say thank you for joining me this morning, giving us the laughter and, sharing your pieces with us. It has been my pleasure.
Well, it has been my pleasure
Having
more.
you.
And thank you so much for
Everyone.
having me again. Blessings to everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the wedding. Don't get too drunk now.
All right, everybody. So we out of here. Blessings, blessings, blessings to you.
Blessings,
Take it
blessings.
easy.